We all know that public speaking isn't just about throwing data at people, right? It's about telling stories that make them feel something, that make them care. But here's the trap. A story that goes on for too long can totally backfire. It can kill the very connection you're trying to build. So today we're going to break down a really simple but super powerful principle to fix that. It's called the 2-minute story rule. Oh, you know the feeling. You're right in the middle of what you think is this amazing, impactful story. You look out at the audience and you see it. The eyes glazing over, the phone's starting to creep out. It's that sinking feeling in your stomach when you realize your big point is getting totally lost in a sea of details. It's brutal, but hey, it happens to literally everyone. So, what's going wrong in that moment? Well, the problem usually isn't the story itself. You probably have a great story. The issue is almost always the delivery. Even a fantastic tale can fall flat if it's too long, if it meanders, or if it just asks the audience to do way too much mental work. It's a straight up attention problem, and thankfully, it has a surprisingly simple fix.
And here it is, the 2-minute story rule. The principle is as simple as it sounds. Every single story you tell in a talk or presentation, no matter how epic or complex you think it is, has to be told in under 2 minutes. Now, this isn't about gutting your story of all its meaning. It's about sculpting it for maximum impact.
Okay, so why 2 minutes? What's so magical about that number? Well, it's the sweet spot. See, 2 minutes is just long enough to give your audience a full story arc. A beginning, a middle, and an end. A setup, a conflict, a resolution. But it's also short enough to keep the energy high and the momentum of your presentation moving forward. It's a sign of respect for your audience's time, and it keeps them leaning in, wondering what's next. But look, this rule isn't just some random tip I pulled out of a hat. It's actually grounded in how our brains are wired to process information. There's some real science behind why being brief is so darn effective. And that brings us to this idea of working memory. The easiest way to think about it is like your brain's own little temporary notepad, or maybe like the RAM in your computer. It's the mental space your audience is using to hold on to all the characters, the plot points, and the details of your story as you're telling it. But here's the crucial part. That workspace is tiny. When you tell a long, rambling story with too many names, dates, and side plots, you're overloading their system. You're asking their brain to juggle way too many balls at once. And what happens? To catch the new information you're throwing, it has to drop something. And way too often, the thing that gets dropped is your core message. So the solution isn't to just delete your story. No way. It's to get really good at what we can call story compression. The whole goal is to deliver the exact same emotional punch, the exact same lesson, but in a package that's way sharper, tighter, and more efficient. It's all about getting the biggest possible impact per second. Okay, so we've covered the what and the why. Now let's get to the most important part, the how. Let's dig into a practical, step-by-step playbook you can start using right away. Just take a look at the difference here. The before version, we've all heard the story. It's meandering, it's got subplots about coworkers, it's just a lot. But the after version, it's sharp, it's memorable. It goes straight to the conflict. Our first ads failed, then the action, then the incredible lesson. That core message that failure fuels innovation, it just lands with so much more force because all the fluff has been stripped away. So how do you actually build one of these? Here's a super simple clock you can follow. In the first 20 seconds or so, just set the scene. Tell us where we are, who's involved. That's it. Then, by the 1-minute mark, you need to introduce the problem, the challenge, the thing that went wrong. And before that 2-minute alarm bell goes off, you deliver the resolution and, this is the most important part, the key takeaway for your audience. What's in it for them? Now, if you're struggling with this, if you're having a hard time cutting things out, this is the single most powerful question you can ask yourself. This is your ultimate editing tool. What is the one moment I want them to remember? Figure out what that one crucial scene or lesson is, and then you have to have the discipline to cut everything, and I mean everything, that doesn't directly lead to or support that one single moment. Be ruthless. All right, let's bring this all home. When you get good at this, when you really master this skill, you're not just telling shorter stories. You are fundamentally transforming your anecdotes into precision-guided tools of persuasion and connection. And the benefits are just huge. You immediately show respect for your audience's time, and trust me, they will love you for it. The energy of your entire presentation stays way up because you never get stuck in the mud. It also forces you to be crystal clear on your own message. And because of all that, your point becomes absolutely unforgettable. I love this quote because it perfectly reframes the whole idea.
See, this rule isn't a creative straitjacket designed to hold you back. It's a focusing lens. It takes all of your big, awesome creative energy and it channels it into something sharp, powerful, and incredibly effective. It's about taming your creativity so that it can better serve your audience.
So I'll leave you with this one question to think about. What one story will you compress first? Think about your go-to anecdote, the one you always pull out. How can you take what we've talked about today and apply this rule to make it even more powerful?